Greetings students, today we are going to learn about one of Britain's leading banking and financial services company, Barclays. Most of us must have heard the name of the company Barclays. Let us know this company in a much better way. Barclays PLC is a British multinational banking and financial services company headquartered in London, United Kingdom. It is a universal bank with operation in retail, wholesale and investment banking as well as wealth management, mortgage, lending and credit cards. It has operation in over 50 countries and territories and has around 48 million customers. As of 31st December 2011, Barclays had total assets of US $2.42 trillion, the seventh largest of any bank worldwide. Barclays is organized within these business cluster: corporate and investment banking, wealth and investment management, and retail and business banking. The corporate and investment banking, wealth and investment management cluster comprises three business units: corporate banking, investment banking, and wealth and investment management. The retail and business banking cluster comprises four business units: Africa Retail and Business Banking, including ABSA Group, Barclays Card, Credit Card and Loan Provision, Europe Retail and Business Banking, and UK Retail and Business Banking. Barclays traces its origins to a goldsmith banking business established in the city of London in 1690. James Barclay became a partner in the business in 1736. In 1896, several banks in London and the English provinces, including Barclays Bank and Garnies Bank, united as a joint stock bank under the name Barclays and Corporation. Over the following decades, Barclays expanded to become a nationwide bank. In 1967, Barclays deployed the world's first cash machine. Barclays has made numerous corporate acquisitions, including of London Provisional and Southwestern Bank in 1918, British Linen Bank in 1919, Mercantile Credit in 1975, the Woolwich in 2000, and the North America operation of Lehman Brothers in 2008. Barclays has a primarily listing on the London Stock Exchange and is a constituent of the FTSE 100 index. It had a market capitalization of approximately £21.8 billion as of 23 December 2011, the 22nd largest company of any company with a primary listing on the London Stock Exchange. It has a secondary listing on the New York Stock Exchange. Barclays traces its origin back to 1690 when John Freem and Thomas Colt started trading as goldsmith bankers in Lombard Street, London. The name Barclays became associated with the business in 1736 when James Barclay, the son-in-law of John Freem, one of the founders, became a partner in the business. In 1728, the bank moved to 54 Lombard Street, identified by the sign of the black spread eagle, which in subsequent years would become a core part of the bank's visual identity. In 1776, the firm was styled Barclay, Bevent and Bennett and so renamed until 1785 when another partner, John Tritton, who had married a Barclay, was admitted, and the business then became Barclay, Bevent, Barclays and Tritton. In 1896, several banks in London and the English provinces, notably Barclays Bank of Darlington and Garnies Bank of Norwich, united under the banner of Barclays and Corporation, a joint stock bank. Then in 2006, Barclays purchased the Home EQ Servicing Corporation for US $469 million in cash from Wachovia Corporation. That year also saw the acquisition of the financial website Compare the Loan, and Barclays announcing plans to rebrand Woolwich branches as Barclays, migrating Woolwich customers onto Barclays accounts and migrating back office processes onto Barclays systems. The Woolwich brand was to be used for Barclays mortgages. In January 2007, Barclays announced that it had purchased the naming rights to the Barclays Center, a proposed 18,000-seat arena in Brooklyn, New York, where the New Jersey Nets plan to relocate. Barclays cancelled its secondary listing on the Tokyo Stock Exchange in 2008. Barclays' operations are organized within two business clusters: corporation investment banking and wealth and investment management, and retail and business banking. The corporate and investment banking and wealth and investment management cluster comprises three business units: corporate banking, investment banking, and wealth and investment management. The Retail and Business Banking cluster comprises 4 business units: Africa Retail and Business Banking, Barclays Card, Credit Card and Loan Provision, Europe Retail and Business Banking, and UK Retail and Business Banking. The chairman is Sir David Walker, the group chairman, who joined the board on 1st September 2012 and became chairman from 1st November 2012. The chief executive is Anthony Jenkins, who had been a member of the executive committee since 2009 and comes from the retail side of the business.
My name is Mike Thompson and I'm head of the Barclays apprenticeship programme, which is aimed at bringing in young 16 to 24-year-olds into our organisation. The Barclays apprenticeship programme has been launched to help 1,000 young people a year into work within Barclays. And really who we're targeting are young people who perhaps haven't done so well academically or who have perhaps chosen to go down a more vocational route to develop themselves. We're looking to create careers for young people in Barclays that are varied and interesting in different parts of our organisation. So that may well be in our branches or in our contact centres or even in our operations centres that will help somebody really thrive and grow and develop a long-term career. I did quite a lot of work experience when I was at school and at college, particularly during the summer months. I worked for an airline, which I really enjoyed finding out how our service industry works, looking behind the scenes and seeing all the things that go on. And I also worked in a bank, which really whet my appetite for my current job. I really enjoyed serving the customers and finding out how banks really work. It's very important for a young person to understand how they can become more marketable to companies in order for them to get that dream job they're looking for. It's also important for companies to have a look at a young person and find out how well they would fit into their team and into their organisation. So I think everybody benefits from work experience. It's also really important for schools to help develop the skills that employers are looking for, whether that be communication skills or team working skills, or simply the basic skills of maths and English that nearly every employer will look for. So I think schools play a very important role in preparing a young person for the workplace. The Barclays Work Experience programme is designed to help young people find out what it's really like to work in a company like Barclays and to understand all the really varied careers that are available to them. It's also a great way of them finding out more about themselves and also about the skills and behaviours that will make them more marketable, more attractive to organisations like Barclays. We've designed the week so that people can learn an awful lot about both how banks work and the types of skills you need to work in a bank, but also to find out a lot about themselves. The week is made up of a series of activities that will help them explore things like team working, communication, customer service, but also to help them take a look at themselves and develop some of their own skills. I think we've designed it to be fun and engaging, but also we hope at the end of it the young person will go away feeling they really understand what their strengths are and where they can develop further to be really successful in looking for that job. Hopefully it will inspire them to come and join Barclays apprenticeship programme. So many of our senior leaders have taken that journey in the past and have been highly successful, and we're hoping this programme will inspire young people to be the future leaders of Barclays.
Barclays Bank was known overseas in the financial industry in the 1980s as Barclays Bank due to its continued involvement in South Africa during the apartheid regime. A student boycott of the bank led to a drop in its share of the UK student market from 27% to 15% by the time it pulled out in 1986. In 2006, a South African activist group, the Jubilee South Africa-backed Kolomani support group, sought reparations from Barclays in addition to Citigroup, BP, Royal Dutch Shell, Ford, GM and Deutsche bank for their roles indirectly supporting the apartheid government in South Africa during the 1970s and 1980s. The legal proceedings are being heard at the Second Circuit Court of Appeals in New York, and the South African Ministry of Justice is seeking dismissal of the case on the grounds that it undermines its national sovereignty. So students, we got to know about the various aspects of Barclays. We went through the company's history to its present market scenario. Hope you must have got useful information about the company. Have a good day ahead.